Howdy, everyone. This is Sharon for another Conscious Sharon moment. And so, for this Conscious Sharon moment, what we will talk about is having self care as a lifestyle. What does that mean? Why is it needed? And one of the things I will say, as I continue to have breath, as I continue to live, man, oh man, there are things in life that literally comes against us, against you. And sometimes it may feel like it's on purpose. Oh my. And of course, everyone's path is so different. But one thing I can say, I swear, it seems like I come across things later in life that I really wish I could have come across earlier. But anyway, the reason why self-care. And remember, with Conscious Sharon, with Sharon D. Brown, with the number one self care authority in the world, with this sassy self care activist. Self care, four pillars, is self awareness, sitting in silence, deep rest, movement, and action. And remember, with self awareness, it's that self evaluation, self reflection, introspection. And you need all three of the others in order to really to have that self inquiry. And so self-care is good for the mind, body, and spirit. And if you just take from the body of high blood pressure, of high cholesterol, of heart disease, and especially, by being of African descent, we are at higher risk of all of those things because of, what we're exposed to and what we experience of, even cancer and any joint pains and things like that. So, just from a biological standpoint, having a self care lifestyle is a must. It can help prevent, it can help reverse, and can just make things better for you. And even if you experience, let's say, a heart attack, even just by having a self care lifestyle, a wellness lifestyle regimen, it helps in your recovery. When it comes to, your mind, your mental health, your mental wellness, whatever word you want to use, when it comes to even how you think or the thoughts that come through your mind and that perpetuates it, self care helps with that. It allows you to investigate you, it allows you to experiment, even when it comes to your body. It allows you, trial and error of trying different things that can be helpful for you. In the medical field, in the mental health field, I'm saying but it is said, oh, we'll try this medication is trial and error, or the doctor, the prescriber would say, well, the benefits outweighs the side effects, but they're not the one experiencing the side effect. You are. So in saying that, there are some other things that can be tried. I mean, listen to people of how they were able to overcome, and it takes work. You've heard me talk about this before, and go listen to my podcast. I have a podcast, y'all, and it has a wealth of information, and part of that is for you to educate yourself, for you to investigate, for you to be curious, like, how can I be well? And I know everyone is at different aspect or wherever you are. And then, like, especially when someone is experiencing anxiety or depression or PTSD, and there are times in which you can be in a state in where you just don't have the energy or the mind to do anything. You just want to lay there. And the only thing I can say is move just a little. And I know for some individuals, that's a lot. One step, one thought, one task. But my main point is whether it's, first of all, your body, anything medical is going to impact you emotionally, mentally, emotionally. And then anything physically is going to, impact you in that way. Anything with your body is going to impact your mind. Anything with your mind is going to impact your body. And then any one of those things is going to impact your spirit. That is why it's important for you to have a self-care lifestyle. We can talk all day long the about the problem. We can talk all day long about the system. The question is, what are you doing for yourself? And even though you can reach out to some of these wonderful entities, but they don't always have the capacity. And even you can reach out to a friend, they may not have the capacity. This is why self-care is so important, so that hopefully I hope that if someone reaches out to me on a personal level, that I have the capacity to really be there for them. But I know there have been times in my life I had not been. I can remember, and I've said this before, I talked about this before in a previous episode of Conscious Sharon, moment in that me and two of my best friends, we all were going through something at the same time. We were maybe able to like just tell each other, hey, this is what's going on with me. But we really didn't have the capacity to truly support each other. And that is okay. Don't get mad at your friend. Don't get mad at your family because they can't be there for you. They have to be there for themselves or their own family. And so this is why having a healthy lifestyle, how much we want someone to hold our hands, to be there for us. At the end of the day, it is you. We heard the saying that no one is coming to rescue you, but just know that there are people who have overcome adversity. And when I say adversity, not just the things in life, but whether it's people, places, and things, whether it's a medical condition, a medical challenge, a mental health challenge, because at the end of the day, no matter who you are, where you are, how much money you have, how much money you don't have, no matter what your zip code is, every single person will have experienced something at some time in your life. Believe me. And so by us having a self-care lifestyle, meaning that we are purposely, intentionally looking for something to make us well. What are you looking for to make you well? What are you doing to make yourself feel better? If your body is aching, what are you looking up? The medical field would say, oh, be careful about looking things up because of this and that and the other. But at the same time, this is how some people discovered how to completely reverse something that the medical field, that a doctor had told them, and may have been more than one doctor, that there is no cure. You're not going to be able to walk. You're not going to be able to do this. Or someone with a mental health challenge, and someone is telling you you're not going to be able to do, whatever it may be. If anything, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong by investing in yourself. This is why self-care is so, so important. And this is why I'm so passionate. Do I always do things that I need to do? No. But I definitely try. I have it in my mind. So I'm still working on action when it comes to certain things. Because again, at the end of the day, we're all maybe at different places, at different stages, even at different levels. But whatever it is, it's going to help me get to the next level. So I am here to tell you, you've heard me say before, and I've seen it. People say, I will go to the moon and back for my kids. Okay, go to the moon, whatever that moon is, meaning that in having a healthy lifestyle, do that for them. Because believe me, even though they're going to take care of you, but don't do that to them. Don't do that. If you currently have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, um, a heart condition, joints, whatever it may be, there are things that you can do. That there are people who've been able to completely reverse this. Investigate. You're like, oh, well, it's going to cost money. It's your life. It's your life. It's almost one of those things. We're going to end up paying for it either way. So you pay for it upfront with time and energy and money, or pay it on the back end with time, energy, and your money. But you get to choose how. This is the thing about self-care. You get to choose. You get to choose to be healthy. Sometimes it's not always about life. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Of course, when it comes to the catastrophic things that happen, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, the pandemic, no one has control of those things. And this is where self-care can help. Because even for me, oh man, the pandemic, I felt it with the energy in the world. I felt that. So I had to work really hard to keep myself, grounded, just so that I won't feel the ills of the world, when it comes to that, and to really make sure that I, keep myself healthy in my mind and in my body, but also spirit. Because again, like I told you, it is everything impacts you spiritually as well. Where whatever your religion is, there's a spirituality within all of us. And so when it comes to our thoughts, when it comes to our mind, when it comes to our body, it directly impacts that. And when our spirit isn't right, we're not right. And so again, having a self-care lifestyle, is it easy? You can make it easy, but making it a priority is really going to help you in the long run. It really, really is. And again, if you're not able to do it for yourself right now, do it for your family. Do it for your family. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to do it for yourself. You're going to need to do it for yourself. And you would thank yourself later. I was watching recently. I wish I can remember the name of it, and I can't remember, was it on Netflix or on Tubi, but it was about how 50-year-olds has started running, and then how it, like reversed a lot of their medical issues. Some may have had some flare-ups with some of the medical conditions that they had, but overall, their spirit. And so, again, what are you doing to make yourself well? What are you doing to make yourself well in your mind, in your body, in your spirit? And how much it is good to be able to have someone to talk to. The main thing is to have yourself. That's what self-care is all about, where you're able to sit with yourself. Because again, I am not able to sit with others with certain things because I haven't sat with myself first. And I know that. There are certain things I'm not able to sit with others about how much I want to be there for people. And then sometimes it can just be too much. It can just be too much. So, again, don't get mad at anybody because it's a lot to be able to support someone. Because when you think about it, you don't want to cause harm to other people when you're going through something, you know? Even though sometimes that's the last thing you're thinking about, because you can be, especially just when someone is experiencing emotional distress, you're reaching out for help. So hopefully someone can be there. But this is the reason that self-care, having a self-care lifestyle, it's in exercising. I mean, make it fun. You can make it what you want. It doesn't have to be anything dreaded. Yeah, there are some things like, again, me in strength training. How much I know is important. And one of my friends like, Sharon, did you do your strength training today? Man, I say exactly like that. Like, I know. I said I was going to do it today. I've gotten better. It goes up and down. So it's about me finding something in which I pretty much know what it is that I need to do. You have to find what works for you. What works for you may not work for someone else. So, again, when it comes to your life, do what you need to do so you can be well in every aspect, because that's going to allow you to be able to have clarity. That's going to allow you to use discernment, because you may not realize it. A lot of times we're making decisions out of emotions, and making decisions because of how we feel at the moment is not always the best thing. It's not always the best thing. We think that, because we feel strongly about something, that's the best decision, but it's not always the best decision because we feel strongly about something. We need to really look at what is making us feel strong. Is it an emotion, or is it something that we truly believe in and we're able to really look at the benefits of it, and where it may not be so beneficial, but it is the best viable option because it's a good decision. It's a good choice. And so by you taking care of yourself, you're helping to take care of your children, your children's children, generation to come, where they can be healthy. So let's change the landscape. Let's change the landscape. Instead of saying diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol runs in my family, let's change that. Let's say, yeah, our family went in history of being the first to be healthy, the first to accomplish whatever that may be. Have those type of competitions. Yeah, I walked, a mile, and I walked 5 miles. I walked 100 miles. However that may be, it may be a different way of walking. Some people may have to walk in their mind first. And what about for individuals who are not able to physically truly walk? You know, there are different ways of doing things, of being healthy. Because the other thing about being healthy is to be able to have conversations. And we're not going to preface it. We're not going to say uncomfortable conversations, because all conversations are needed. We're not going to say hard conversations. No, they're conversations. There are things that need to be said. There are things that need to be discussed, because we're people. And that's how we learn and to have an understanding. The only way we're going to truly have compassion and empathy for other people is to be able to hear and not take offense. And even when someone is telling us about ourselves, do I want to hear it? No. I'm not like that. Sometimes it could be the other person's perception, or it could be both. But in order for you to grow is to be able to hear parts of yourself that you don't see. We all have blind spots, including me. So having a self-care lifestyle is good for you. It's good for people in your surroundings. And that is how you're going to level up. It's not just about the I'm gonna put it like this: when it comes to wealth, how healthy are you? That's going to really determine where you're going to be, because there's no need of making all this money and have all of these luxurious things if you're not able to be luxury, you know? So having a self-care lifestyle is good for you, bottom line. And it means to intentionally do things that's going to make you better. Whoo, man. When I just said that, something ran through my mind. I'm like, ooh, am I doing things that's intentionally making me better when it comes to people, places, and things? But like I always think that we are, but we may not be. So this is a new year. So take a look in your life and say, hey, what can you do to make things better with the self-care lifestyle? And everywhere that you are, it's not just when you're home, it's when you're at work, it's wherever you are, to be able to make the choice. It's to be, yeah, have it where you don't have to really think about it, but at the same time you do need to think about it, because when you don't, it just, your brain just, your mind just operates in a certain way. So that's why it's so important to be intentional about you. Be intentional about you. What are you worth? What are you worth? But anyway, thank you for this conscious sharing moment. For joining me for this conscious sharing moment, remember to like and share and put in your comments. How are you going to move forward with a self-care lifestyle?